From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Nitya Chandra.
A very good evening indeed. I am Charita Ajith, and here are today's headlines.
A National Child Protection Center for Children with Disabilities. The Sri Lankan Embassy in Beijing maintains strong vigilance on Sri Lankans living in China in the face of the corona disease condition. Pojit Jayasundara has been brought before the Presidential Commission inquiring into the Easter attack. The Prime Minister says that all must get together to develop the country.
And now the news in detail, starting off with the China virus. Chinese President Xi Jinping has held a special government meeting on the Lunar New Year public holiday to warn that the spread of a deadly new virus is accelerating. The country is facing a grave situation, President Xi told senior officials, according to the state television. The coronavirus has killed at least 41 people and infected almost 1,300 since its discovery in the city of Wuhan. Travel restrictions have already hit several affected cities, and from Sunday, private vehicles will be banned from the central districts of Wuhan, the source of the outbreak. A second emergency hospital is to be built within 3 weeks to handle 1,300 new patients and will be finished in half a month. State newspaper The People's Daily said it is a second such rapid construction project which work on another 1,000-bed hospital has already begun. Specialist military medical teams have also been flown into Hubei province, where Wuhan is located. The urgency reflects concerns within China and elsewhere about the spread of the virus, which has first appeared in December. Lunar New Year celebrations for the Year of the Rat, which began today, have been cancelled in many Chinese cities. Across mainland China, travelers are having their temperatures checked for signs for fever, and train stations have been shut in several cities. In Hong Kong, the highest level of emergency has been declared and school holidays extended. Several other nations are each dealing with a handful of cases, with patients being treated in isolation. Chief Infectious Disease Specialist Dr. Sudat Samaravira says that 2 patients with respiratory diseases who came from China were hospitalized. He added that it has not been confirmed whether they were infected with the coronavirus. It has been reported that a Chinese woman and a Sri Lankan youth were hospitalized. The Sri Lankan youth had left the hospital today. The blood sample of the two had been forwarded to the Colombo Medical Research Institute for further investigations. Dr. Sudat Samaravira says that all measures are taken to identify all those who arrive in Sri Lanka infested with the virus.
Now, office of the Sri Lankan Embassy in Beijing City says that it will remain constantly vigilant of the coronavirus disease conditions spreading in China and the Sri Lankan community in China.
The coronavirus is
the Sri Lankan Embassy in Beijing says that a group of officials
located in Hubei province. There were around 85 Sri Lankan students undergoing studies in the Hubei universities, and most of them, the students, have gone back to Sri Lanka for holidays before the outbreak of the virus. Currently, there are 32 Sri Lankan students, including their family members, in Wuhan province. We have established a contact with the students who are living in Wuhan, and regularly we are exchanging their messages, and we advise them to take the precautionary measures to avoid infection and to follow strictly the health instruction issued by the local health authorities. At the same time, we have also collected the names, passport numbers, and other particulars of the Sri Lanka students, and then we are looking at all possibilities to evacuate them to Sri Lanka if the necessary arises. I am also in touch with the Foreign Ministry of China in Beijing, also the Provincial Foreign Affairs Office in Hubei, also the foreign embassies, especially our neighboring countries, to look after the measures that they take to evacuate their citizens, and also to see that how we can help more to the Sri Lanka students in Wuhan. The Wuhan city is being closed down by the Hubei provincial government to avoid further spread of the virus. We are actually in touch with the Sri Lanka students, speaking to them. We are trying all the possibilities to return them to Sri Lanka, because since the city is closed down currently, no one can enter the city or exit the city. At the same time, we have established hotlines in the embassy. We have nominated 4 senior officials working in the embassy, and with their telephone numbers, email addresses. They can be contacted at any time by the students or their family members in Sri Lanka. Also, what we have done is to establish the well-being of the Sri Lanka students. All the officers are advised to closely associate, give them the necessary information and advices. With regard to the other Sri Lankans living outside of Wuhan province, we are also in touch with them. So
now, Sri Lanka's first national child protection centre solely dedicated to children with disabilities was declared open in Ragama today by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The centre has been named as Ajith National Centre. A medical faculty of the Kalaniya University is in charge of provision of medical services. The cost of the project amounts to 550 million rupees. Funds in this regard have been provided by the Hemas Holdings and Mars Holdings companies. The Rotary Club has provided the audio equipment facilities. Roshan Vijay Rama Family Foundation has also contributed funds. The Sri Lanka Army has been in charge of construction of the centre. Free clinics are being conducted through services of medical specialists. Preliminary investigations are being conducted regarding physical and mental disabilities. Many services based on clinical treatments of speech, physiotherapy and audition. The Ajith Centre is also equipped with Sri Lanka's first established sensor room. The President engaged in an observation tour of the centre.
My name is Mustafa. When I came to Ajith, I can't speak well. My aunties worked me a lot.
And meanwhile, IGP Premadasa, who has been placed on compulsory leave, gave evidence before the Presidential Investigation Commission inquiring into the Easter Sunday attack today. This was the first occasion of Premadasa being placed on detention, giving evidence before the commission. He was testified for a period of 2 hours. Former Governor Azad Sali was also convened to give evidence regarding the breaking of Buddha statues in Mavanala. Representatives of the commission commencing interrogations have inquired from the IGP whether he was aware of the incident of damaging Buddha statues in Mavanala. Premadasa has responded saying that the Mavanala police station has commenced investigations in this connection, but they had to be handed over to the Department of Criminal Investigations due to inefficiency of the investigating officials. He added that he had given instructions verbally in this connection and informed Senior DIG Ravi Senaviratna to take charge of the investigations. Officials of the commission at the instance have inquired whether instructions were given to former director of the commission investigating the incident, SSP Shania Beswek, to take charge of the investigations. The IGP has responded to the request querying, saying that he gave instructions only to the highest ranking officials of any institutions and that he has no recollection of giving such instructions to Shania Beswekar. The commission officials have questioned whether he had received any telephone call regarding damaging Buddha statues. The IGP replied saying that he had received a telephone call, but he has no memory regarding the date or to which telephone he had received the call. He also said that Azad Sali told him that if necessary he could give information regarding two suspects through a father of a suspect. Premadasa also said he had informed DIG SM Vikramasinghe, an Assistant Superintendent of Police in charge of Kegol Division, that they could obtain relevant information from Azad Sali. That the members of the commission have inquired from the IGP whether there had been a meeting regarding the issue between Azad Sali, Defence Secretary and the Director of the Terrorist Investigation Division. Poji Jayasundara has responded saying that such a meeting had taken place, but he could not recollect the exact date of such meeting. The IGP also said that Maulavi and members of the Intelligence Division had accompanied Asad Salih on this occasion. He added that though Asad Salih was present at the meeting, he had refrained from commenting on anything regarding the breaking of Buddhist statues, as he had informed him earlier over the phone. Meanwhile, the Commission has allowed permission to Asad Salih to question the IGP only regarding the telephone call over the incident of breaking of Buddhist statues in Mavanala. The IGP has reiterated that he would not allow Asad Salih to make any impact on him regarding this issue. Asad Salih also inquired whether he had informed of handing over suspects. The IGP said that person who had talked about surrendering the suspect should take the responsibility in this regard. The IGP has also refrained from responding, saying that interrogations were conducted on erroneous foundation. The Commission officials have made queries regarding the politicians other than Asad Salih had created an influence on IGP. In this connection, he said that Kabir Hashim had given a telephone call and inquired on the investigations. The Commission is scheduled to reconvene evidence on next Tuesday.
Now, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that all must get together as a single family and village in order to develop the country. He was addressing a ceremony in a temple in Anuradhapura today. The ceremony was held in connection with the unveiling of the pinnacle at the Chaitya of the Bodhimalu Vihara in Kudagama, Horopatana. A group including Minister S.M. Chandrasena was also present at the occasion. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that there were 9 members in his family along with brothers and sisters to play in his house. He added that today there is only 1 or 2 persons left. The Prime Minister further said that in the past there were more children in families for recruitment for the army and for priesthood. The notion small family golden has caused destruction. As a result, today the country remains divided. The tragedy of the nation when a country remains divided.
හාමුදුරු කෙනෙක් පහන කරන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ දැක්කලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි රටක පවුලක් වශයෙන් වෙදිලා ඉන්නවා නම් වක් වෙලාවට දේශපාලඥයෝ ඒකට සමච්චල් කරනවා. මේ සමච්චලයට ලක් වෙන්න පවුලක් වශයෙන් එක්කහුවීම එකිනෙකාට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා එකට ඉඳීම අපරාධයක් වශයෙන් දකින අත්‍යක් ඉන්නවා. ඒක මම හිතනවා ජාතියක අවාසනාවක්. ඒක රටක් වශයෙන් ඔබේ ගෙදර පවුල එක්කව වෙන්න ගම ගමට තව වෙන්න රටක් වශයෙන් අපි එක්කව වෙන්න. ඒකට තමයි රටක දියුණුව ඉදිරි ගමන ඇති වෙන්නේ කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා.
The Prime Minister also visited the Muslim Mahavidyalaya in Anganachia, where he accorded a warm reception by the school children.
And Minister Johnston Fernando has presided over several ceremonies held in connection with the inauguration of several projects, including minimized traffic congestion and investing in the general public, the passenger tunnel way in Kandy today. The underground tunnel has been constructed linking the country's central market and Lamagar Mawata. The project, valued at 60 million rupees, was declared open this morning. Thereafter, a project to upgrade the Wales Park in Johnston, Kandy has commenced. Under the project, a new roadway spanning 120 meters to be constructed around the Kandy Lake at a cost of 62 million rupees. The minister has also attended a ceremony to construct 2 lanes of the Baladaksha Mawata in Kandy at a cost of 75 million rupees. A group including State Minister Lohan Ratwat and Kelly Rambukwel were present on this occasion.
Now, representatives of several organizations has visited the magazine prison in Valikadu today to look into the well-being of retired Major Ajith who has been placed on detention. Venerable Itakande Sadathe Sathera of the Ravana Balaya organization and representatives of the Singalaya organization were also present at the occasion.
And meanwhile, it has been revealed that the consumption of genetically modified foods led to several physical diseases, including diabetes, cancer, as well as autism. Affliction of such diseases could be avoided through following a food pattern devoid of poisonous substances. Attention on these facts has been focused at a special discussion at the Ministry of Mahavali Agriculture, Irrigation and Rural Development. Objective of the meeting was to explore on the changes to be made in the agricultural industry to create a food pattern without contaminated food. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa has presided over the meeting, which also dealt with methodologies to uplift local agriculture based on sustainable agricultural policy. It has also been decided at the meeting to present a cabinet paper to cultivate crops on the legume family inherent to the country utilizing traditional methods. More attention has been focused on replanting trees of the type of mee and kitul as well as ornamental flowers. It has also been proposed to set up centers for king coconut rings in religious places, schools and government institutions with the assistance of the Ministry of Health.
Now, a ceremony to commemorate the 61st anniversary of the Cuban Revolution was held yesterday. Governors Professor Thissa Vitarana and Raja Kollure, Cuban ambassador to Sri Lanka Joanna Elena Reynolds, officials of the Sri Lanka-Cuba Friendship Association have also participated in the event. The vote of thanks was delivered by M.A. Razivi of the Sri Lanka-Cuba Friendship Association.
Everybody knows on January 1st, the Cuban Revolution arrived at its 61st anniversary. And for the Cuban people, 2019 has been a year full of challenges, tensions, and aggressions. The 61st year of the revolution has been hard and challenging. But Cuban people tainted in the resistance of these decades, we have been able to travel throughout 2019, breaking down obstacles that seem insurmountable. And today, we have every right to celebrate what achieved, aware that each goal is a new starting point for us. Let me to take this opportunity also to thank Sri Lanka for its friendship and solidarity with Cuba, which already extends for 60 years. You know that last year we arrived at 60 years of the establishment of relations between Cuba and Sri Lanka.
Moving with more local stories, Minister Mahinda Amaravira requests the general public to use electricity sparingly, the reason being the rapid decline of the water levels in the reservoirs of the hydropower stations. However, he adds that power supply will not be curtailed by any means. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that there is a problem regarding power due to rapid declining water levels in the reservoirs. Therefore, the minister requests the entire population to use electricity with care. He adds that they would not allow an electricity shortage later on. Minister Amaravira also said that the country is currently using electricity produced through generators at a high cost. Sri Lanka was compelled to rely on electricity generated through diesel generators as not a single power station was established in the past 5 years. He added that they will commence setting up several power stations during this year. He is also predicted to turn on electricity board into a profit-making institute within 3 years. He also said that the losses of the board will not be passed on to the masses.
Now, steps have been taken to systematically develop the Panadura town. The work will be carried out under the program to strategically develop towns throughout the country. Accordingly, small and large towns will be upgraded. The aim of the government is to develop the Panadura town through reconstruction of the bus stand, municipal park and the common market as well as the beachfront. State Ministers Gamini Lokuge and Rohit Abegunavardhana engaged in an observation tour of the Panadura town today.
And a special pilot project to test the Wolbachia bacteria to control dengue disease will be implemented from the next month. Centering on Nugegoda in Colombo, the Australian government provides financial and technological assistance in this connection. Wolbachia is considered as an extremely successful methodology to control dengue menace. Many laboratory tests have confirmed this fact. Many developed countries in the world, including Australia, have utilized this bacterium successfully in controlling mosquitoes. Wolbachia bacteria prevents dengue virus carrier Aedes aegypti entering the body of the mosquito, thereby disabling the mosquito spreading the virus. This is a more environmental friendly technology and it has the capability to control many other diseases such as Zika, chikungunya and yellow fever. A walk to enlighten the general public on the Wolbachia methodology took place today under the theme Wolbachia Community Walkathon 2020. The march has commenced from Crows Island, Mutwal, and ended at Sri Vikramasingapura Community Hall with the participation of nearly 1,000 persons. The event has been jointly organized by the representatives of the World Mosquito Program and the Colombo Municipal Council. The government has planned to implement the program island-wide. And now your sports update. The Sri Lankan Army team has been adjudged as the best boxing team at 2019 at the National Boxing Championship that ended yesterday. 145 competitors had competed under 10 weight categories at the 94th National Boxing Tournament, which has ended at the Royal College Colombo Boxing Ring yesterday. Unichala Sport Club has won the women's trophy and Army team won the men's trophy. A project under the theme Road to Champion has commenced today. The objective was to train children with the Taekwondo martial art. President of the World Taekwondo Association, Dr. Wong Cho, has presided over the inauguration ceremony at the indoor stadium of the California University. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time.
Good night.